This is an Ampeg BA-115, and it does not have, I don't remember if it's the positive 16 volt or the negative 16 volt rail. One of the rails is out. I measured it a week or so ago, then ordered the parts. But anyway, in the rail there are two Zeners, one for each side. Each side has a capacitor, and each side has got a 5-watt resistor. And one of the rails is out. So I'm going to change these two Zeners, these two caps, these two resistors, and at that point the rail, both rails should be working just fine. When I say rail, it's a bipolar supply for the op amps in this amp, and it runs at plus 16 and negative 16 volts. And I don't recall which one's out, but one of them definitely is. It's not that crucial that I remember all that. What was crucial is I remembered, that I knew how to diagnose it. And this will fix that. So I'm going to remove all these parts and get all this old silicone off the board and clean all that up. But the other issue with this amp, and it's common to just about every BA-115 or 112 that comes in, is the solder joints break because the hardware doesn't stay tight to the chassis, so all the stress goes on the solder joints there. Let me see if I can show this. There's definitely a broken solder joint there on that mid switch. Usually it's broken on the RCA as well. Yeah, there's some movement on that one there. Sometimes there'll be an issue with XLR just because it has a lot of leverage if this comes loose. This one seems okay. Anyway, I'll check all the jacks and pots as well. Very common on the input jacks. Looks like this might have been reflowed in the past by someone else. It still doesn't look that great right there. So this is the jack that gets used the most, so that gets a lot of stress. So I'll reflow those solder joints, go through the whole thing. That one doesn't look great either. With my eyes rather than looking through the camera lens. So I'll get all that cleaned up and I'll get those components replaced. And let's see if this thing comes back to life. Okay, everything rebuilt over here. Much more attractive with all that excess silicone. So I replaced all three 5-watt resistors in this area, and both Zeners and both capacitors and the low voltage supply. And I now have plus 16 and negative 16 on the rails for all the op amps. So that is good. That is very good. Before I put it all the way back together, I'm going to go see if I have sound. It initially made no sound, and I discovered it was because of this headphone jack. The sleeve and sleeve normal were not making contact. I tried to clean them. They still weren't making contact. So it's a cliff jack. I stocked those. I replaced it. And now, pardon me, now the speaker output actually has a connection to ground, and